All right, students, we're just going to do a quick review of divisibility today before we start our lesson. We're going to take the number 12,360 and find out what numbers it's divisible. Remember, the main ones I said we deal with is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. You still have a bonus you learned yesterday how to do 7, 11, and 12. Now, to be divisible by 2, you're going to look at the last number has to be even. That is divisible by 2. Remember, the next two easy ones were to pick out 5 and 10. 5, it has to end with both a 5 or 0, and it ends with a 0, so it is divisible. The next one is 10. It ends with a 0, so it will be divisible. Now, 3 and 9 kind of go together because they both, you take the sum of the digits, add them up, and if it's a multiple of those numbers, then it works. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. Now, will 3 go into 12 perfectly? Absolutely. For 9, it does not. Remember, you can add these digits up too. 1 plus 2 does not equal 9. The next one is 6. The rule for divisibility by 6, if it works for both 2 and 3, it works for 6, and it does. The next one is 4. You look at the last two digits. Now, will 4 go into 6 perfectly, 60 perfectly? Now, if you were unsure, you could divide it in there that it goes in there one time with 2 left over. Yes, 4 goes into 20 perfectly, so yes, it does go into 60 perfectly. Remember, 4 times 15 gives you 60. And then the last one was 8, to find out if it's divisible by 8. Now, 8 goes into 36, which is 32, with 4 left over. And does 8 go into 40 perfectly? Yes, it works for 8 as well. So that is the review of the divisibility rules. Next, we're just going to catch a quick factoring. Remember to find the factors of 36. What will I actually do? I'm going to take the numbers, the two numbers that multiply together to give me 36. It would be 1 and 36. Is it divisible by 2? Yes, it's an even number. 2 times 18. Is it divisible by 3? If I wasn't sure, 3 plus 6 is 9. Yes. 3 goes into it how many times? 12 times. Is it divisible by 4? Yes, 4 times 9. Divisible by 5? No, it does not end with a 5 or 0. Well, 6 goes. Is it divisible by 6? Yes, 6 times 6. So when it's the same number, remember we do that right in the middle. And since it is the same number, we can stop right there. So those are the factors of 36. And the last thing we're going to cover is prime factorization. When you have a number, taking it down to its prime numbers, where nothing is left except prime. Now, most teachers may have taught you to go ahead and pull out the lowest divisibility, which is 2, so it'll be 2 times 30. We're okay with you choosing out larger factors if you know them. For me, I would say yes, if I look at that, I would want to go with maybe 6 and 10. Now, if you chose 2 and 30 or 4 and 15 or some other number, they're going to work. We're going to get the same bottom line answer. Now, 6 is still a composite number. Remember, we dealt with prime and composite. Prime means there's only 2 factors, one in itself. Composite means there has to be at least 3 factors. So I know 2 goes in there besides 1 and 6. So this is still composite. And just to review, remember all even numbers are composite except 2. It is the only prime number. Now, what 2 factors multiply to give me 6? 2 and 3. I know that 2 is prime. 3 is actually prime as well, only factors 1 and 3. Now let's look at 10. It is composite because 2 and 5 both go into it. 2 is prime and so is 5. Once I've circled all my prime numbers, I can stop. I'm finished. Now put them in numerical exponent form. So 2, there's 2 of them, times 3 times 5. And you could always go back and double check your work. You've got 4. 4 times 5 is 20, times 3 is 60. So I know that that checks out. That's it on that part.